Hey there guys, welcome to your day 4 video for the Unit 6 module, dividing polynomials. So previously we've done adding, subtracting polynomials, we've done multiplying, now we're going to be doing dividing polynomials. So this is going to be your part 1 of your notes, your Ed puzzle. Once again, hopefully you're watching this before coming to class since it's part 1, or watching this before watching the part 2 video. So as a reminder, generally our mantra is number by number, variable by variable. So when we're multiplying variables and numbers, we're going to multiply our number by our number and our variable by our variable. And you'll see what I mean by this skills review. So at this point, you should have, hopefully had enough practice with these skills. Now, if you're still struggling with these skills, it's going to be very, very important for today's lessons, as well as previous lessons. So if you're still struggling with this, make sure to sign up for tutoring. But generally, when we are multiplying a variable with a coefficient just by a constant, you do number by number, assuming a and b are constants, so a times b. If there's only one variable, you keep the variable. There's nothing to multiply it by. As a reminder, x times x is always going to give you x squared. Ax times bx, well, a times b is what we're going to do, our number times number, and our variable times variable, which we said x times x is x squared. So now looking at some examples, we see 8 times x. Well, number times number, there's only one number, so I keep that number. So 8. There's only one variable, so I keep that variable. So x times 8 is 8x. So now you try this one. What's 4 times x? Good. So 4 times x, hopefully, since you would have noticed that you have one number, keep the number. One variable, we keep the variable, should just give you 4x. Going on to the next one, we're going to do number by number. Once again, since we only have one number, we're going to keep that number. And since we have two variables, we can multiply these. So we can do x times x, which we know is x squared. So this should give me 2x squared. So now you try the next one. 5x times 4x. So you're going to do 4 times 5, or number by number, and variable by variable, so x times x. So I'll let you guys do that for a second. And you should have gotten 5 times 4 is 20. X times x is x squared. Finally, we have this one where we have 3x times 5x. 3 times 5 is 15. X times x is x squared. So generally those were our answers. So we go on to the next slide. You'll see that those were exactly the answers we got. So once again, hopefully at this point this is easier to do. But if you're still struggling with this, once again, sign up for tutoring, email me, or practice this more on your own. Now going back to a review of our box method, so sometimes you might be giving, the sides of a rectangle and we're trying to find the area, which is just length times width. So that's where you're multiplying your two binomials. So we use the box method. And here's where we say, okay, well, fill in the first box, 3x times x, only one number, keep the 3, x times x is x squared. Your second one's going to be negative 8 times x, which is negative 8x. 3x times positive 6, which is positive 18x. And then negative 8 times 6, which is negative 48. So that's a review of our box method. In class, oh right, before we're finished, we're going to combine like terms, but don't forget. So as a reminder, your like terms are always a diagonal. So they're ones that match. So notice this one has an x, this has an x. So you'll do 18x minus 8x. So 18 minus 8 is 10. So when we write our answer, as a reminder, the first term never changes. So you're going to have 3x squared. The last term never changes. So you're going to have negative 48. And 18x minus 8x is 10x. And as a reminder, when we write our answer, we write it in descending order with largest exponent first. So this is exponent 2, technically exponent 1, no exponent. So during class, what we're going to be doing is this time they're going to give us the answer. They're going to give us the area. They're going to give us one side. We have to find the other side. So we're going to kind of have to work backwards, whereas where the division comes in. So, just to get you guys started, generally the way we approach this is, we know, like we said before, the first and last term never change. These never have anything we're going to combine like terms with. So when we fill in our box, we can fill in things we know. So for example, we know one of the sides, so I can fill in the x plus 6. I don't know the other side, that stays as question marks. Now I also know the first term, because it never changes. So this is going to stay at 3x squared. I know the last term, because the last term never changes. So I'm going to keep it here. Now, what I don't know inside my box are my diagonals. These are the ones I'm going to combine like terms with to get my second term. So to get my 10x, well, it depends on what these two add or subtract to. So I don't know it. So during class, we're going to figure out kind of how to work backwards and how to figure out all these question marks by working backwards. Generally, what we're going to do, though, as a sneak peek, is you're going to say, okay, well, I know x has to multiply by something to give me 3x squared. And if I figure out what goes up here, then I can figure out what goes down here. I'll do this times 6 to fill in this part of the box. Similarly here, you're going to say, okay, 6 has to multiply by something to give me negative 48. Once you figure out what this is, well, then I can fill in this box, because this times x will give me this part of the box. So you're kind of just working backwards and kind of thinking through it logically. But that's what we'll be doing in class. So now is your turn to log into the Pear Deck. The code word's going to be in the next slide, so don't finish watching yet. Don't forget to click on your periods link and make sure you click on the correct one. Don't forget to participate in both Pear Decks to receive an excused credit from the week 2 journal check. If you're ever absent, doctor's appointment, internet isn't working, and you can't go into both Pear Decks, let me know through an email. That way you can still be excused. Otherwise, if you only participate in one, you won't be excused. So your code word for today is going to be red. R-E-D. Alright, see you guys in class.